Imagine beginning your day watching a wild orangutan swinging freely through the emerald jungles, and by afternoon, drifting downriver beside elephants and stealthy crocodiles. That's just a small glimpse of what Malaysia has to offer, with countless wonders waiting to be uncovered. Knowing where to begin can feel overwhelming. But don't worry, Voyago is here to take you beyond the usual and reveal the hidden beauty of Malaysia that many travelers never see. From meeting ancient tribes deep within the rainforest to discovering beaches that shimmer with glowing waves at night, this is the untold side of Malaysia you'll soon fall in love with. Our journey begins deep within the heart of the jungle, where Taman Negara, the world's oldest tropical rainforest, has thrived for more than 130 million years without losing its wild soul. Across the waters in Borneo, nature's drama continues. This vast wilderness shelters orangutans, pygmy elephants, and the elusive clouded leopard, all living freely in one of the most biodiverse corners of the planet. But Malaysia's true magic isn't found only in its jungles. It's alive in its people. Here, Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous cultures come together, shaping daily life through colorful traditions, shared languages, and joyful celebrations. Escape the tropical warmth and you'll find the Highlands, where cool mountain air drifts through endless tea plantations and quaint colonial-era cottages, a peaceful contrast to the bustling cities below. Even the way Malaysians talk reveals their cultural blend. Locals speak Manglish, a fun twist on English, sprinkled with expressions like can or not, and law at the end of sentences. Geographically, Malaysia stands apart too, divided by the South China Sea into peninsular Malaysia and the states of Sabah and Sarawak on Borneo Island. In these eastern regions, diversity deepens, home to over 50 indigenous ethnic groups, each with its own language, art, and traditions. And perhaps most beautifully, in towns across the nation, you'll often find a mosque, a church, a Hindu temple, and a Chinese temple sharing the same street, a living symbol of Malaysia's harmony and respect among all cultures. Beneath the shimmering turquoise waters of the Perhentian Islands rests a forgotten relic of World War II. The question is, are you bold enough to explore it? This small cluster of islands off Malaysia's east coast is a tropical dream. Crystal clear water, white sandy shores, and vibrant marine life, all wrapped in a laid-back, no-fuss island charm. Picture this. You walk straight into the sea from the beach. No tour, no boat, just you and the ocean. Moments later, you're gliding alongside graceful sea turtles, reef sharks, and swirls of colorful fish. And if luck's on your side, you might witness baby turtles hatching and making their first brave crawl toward the waves, a moment you'll never forget. Across the islands, jungle trails weave through lush greenery, connecting beaches and hidden lookout points. Along the way, you could spot monkeys, monitor lizards, or even flying foxes gliding through the trees. What sets the Perhentians apart is their pure simplicity. No cars, no roads, only sandy paths, boat taxis, and the kind of barefoot freedom that makes you lose track of time. And that's the beauty of it. Many cozy beach chalets sit right on the sand, so you can literally wake up and step straight into the sea. And when night falls, With limited electricity in some spots, the sky puts on a show. Millions of stars shining bright with no light pollution in sight. As for that hidden secret, just off the coast lies a sunken World War II shipwreck, now claimed by coral and teeming with sea life. It's hauntingly beautiful, a living time capsule beneath the waves. And here's a fascinating detail: Perhentian means stopping point in Malay. Centuries ago, traders paused here to rest while journeying between Thailand and Malaysia. Just remember, avoid the monsoon season from November to February, when the islands close down and the wild waves take control. High in Malaysia's mountains grows a plant larger than your head, and when it blooms, it smells like something straight out of a horror movie. Stay with me, we'll get to that soon. Welcome to the Highlands, Malaysia's cool climate retreat, a mist-covered paradise of rolling tea hills, jungle trails, and curious surprises at every turn. Here, you can wander through endless tea plantations that flow across the hills like waves of emerald green. Then sit back and enjoy a freshly brewed cup with breathtaking views stretching to the horizon. And yes, strawberries in the tropics. This is one of the only places in Southeast Asia where you can pick your own right from the fields. You'll find charming farms offering baskets for visitors to fill with bright red berries, still warm from the sun. For hikers and explorers, the highlands are laced with mossy jungle trails leading to hidden waterfalls, mystical forests, and secret viewpoints. Some areas are so thick with mist and vines that they feel lifted from a fairy tale. Twisted trees, green moss, and an enchanted stillness that hangs in the air. The region was once a British hill station, and the colonial touch still lingers. Tudor-style cottages, English gardens, and cozy tea houses that look like they've been transported straight from the Cotswolds. Local markets burst with life, offering wild honey, fresh vegetables, colorful flowers, and jars of handmade strawberry jam, a true taste of the Highlands. And about that mysterious flower, meet the rafflesia, the largest bloom on Earth. It's rare, massive, and only blossoms for a few short days. But when it does, its scent, let's just say, it's unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. The Highlands were first discovered back in 1885 by a British surveyor named William Cameron, who probably never imagined the lush wonderland he'd just put on the map. In this quiet royal town, there stands a palace built entirely without a single nail, and yes, it's still standing strong. Hard to believe. Just wait till you see it. Welcome to Kuala Kangsar, the royal capital of Perak, a serene and elegant town steeped in history and royal grandeur. Its crown jewel, the Abudaya Mosque, shimmers with golden domes and a gleaming white marble exterior, often hailed as one of the most stunning mosques in all of Malaysia. It looks less like a building and more like something drawn from the pages of a fairy tale. Nearby, perched on a hill overlooking the river, stands Istana Iskandaria, the official residence of the Sultan of Perak. Though it's closed to the public, its regal presence alone speaks volumes. Royalty has called this place home for centuries. If you've ever dreamed of stepping inside a palace, the Sultan Aslan Shah Gallery makes that possible. Once a royal residence, it's now a museum that opens the door to Malaysia's royal heritage, filled with ornate rooms, vintage Rolls-Royces, and centuries-old heirlooms that tell the story of Perak's royal lineage. But Kuala Kangsar isn't just about palaces and tradition. This is also where Malaysia's first rubber trees were planted in the 1870s, a move that changed the nation's economy forever. The very first tree still stands today near the district office, a living relic of Malaysia's industrial history. Now, back to that incredible nail-free palace, the Royal Museum of Perak, or Istana Kinangan. Built completely from wood without using a single nail, it's a masterpiece of traditional Malay craftsmanship and remains one of the most extraordinary architectural wonders in the country. As you stroll through town, traces of British colonial influence appear in landmarks like the Victoria Bridge, an old railway crossing still standing proud, and the Malay College Kuala Kangsar, often dubbed the Eden of the East. Set at the meeting point of the Perak and Kangsar rivers, this royal town is both historically significant and postcard perfect in its scenery. And here's a small detail most visitors miss. The original rubber tree planted by British officer Henry Ridley still grows quietly in town, marking the very beginning of a new era in Malaysia's story. Imagine walking for hours through hidden tunnels and passageways, weaving beneath malls, train stations, and towering skyscrapers, all without ever stepping outside. Unreal? Not in Kuala Lumpur. This is a city where steel and soul collide, where futuristic towers rise above streets filled with sizzling satay, colorful temples, and rooftop lounges glowing under the night sky. Start at the top, the Petronas Twin Towers. Once the tallest buildings on Earth, they still reign as the tallest twin towers in the world. Standing beneath them feels surreal, like touching the skyline itself. Then there's the KL Tower, with a glass sky deck 300 meters high, offering jaw-dropping views of the city. And if that's still not enough height, step into one of Kuala Lumpur's rooftop bars, where you can sip a drink as the skyline sparkles below. Just a short drive, about 20 minutes from the city center, takes you to the Bada Caves, a sacred site of Hindu temples built into a limestone hill. The entrance, lined with rainbow-colored steps and watched over by a towering golden statue, is one of Malaysia's most iconic sights. Feeling hungry? You're in luck. Kuala Lumpur street food is the stuff of legends. Think smoky satay skewers, rich laksa, spicy curries, roti canai, and nasi lemak, all cooked fresh at roadside stalls that stay busy from sunrise till midnight. But Kuala Lumpur isn't just glass and glamour. Between the skyscrapers, you'll still find colonial buildings, ancient mosques, and traditional shophouses, reminders of a city that never forgets its roots. During festivals like Thaipusam or Chinese New Year, the streets explode with drums, lights, and crowds, a sensory storm of color and culture. And don't be surprised if you run into wild monkeys lounging in temple courtyards or city parks, proof that nature still claims a corner of this urban jungle. As for that tunnel mystery, Kuala Lumpur hides a massive network of underground and elevated walkways, many of them air-conditioned, letting you explore the city center without ever breaking a sweat. And here's a final bit of trivia. Kuala Lumpur means muddy confluence, named after the point where two rivers met and gave birth to the city that never stops evolving. Just off the coast of Borneo, there's a place where the ocean suddenly disappears beneath your feet, revealing a world that feels more dream than reality. Curious? You should be. This is Sipadan, Malaysia's only true oceanic island, born from living coral that grew atop an ancient undersea volcano rising over 600 meters from the seafloor. It's not just another dive site. It's ranked among the top 5 in the world. And when legendary explorer Jacques Cousteau called it an untouched piece of art, he meant every word. Here, diving feels like drifting between two worlds. One moment you're gliding over a colorful coral reef. The next, you're floating above an infinite blue abyss, the edge of a vertical wall that drops straight into the deep. And then the spectacle begins: graceful sea turtles, reef sharks, manta rays, and vast schools of jackfish swirling like a silver storm around you. One of Sipadan's most iconic sights is the Barracuda Tornado, a hypnotic spiral of shining fish that engulfs you completely. It's mesmerizing, eerie, and unforgettable all at once. Because of its fragile ecosystem, only 176 divers are allowed per day, and no one stays overnight. The island is fully protected. Divers instead stay on nearby islands like Mabul or Kapalai and travel by boat each morning to explore this underwater masterpiece. With visibility reaching up to 40 meters, it's a paradise for underwater photographers or anyone who just wants to lose themselves in nature's most vivid blue. On land, Sipadan is small, untouched, and often overlooked. Step beyond the beaches, and you'll find monitor lizards, coconut crabs, and rare jungle birds hiding among the trees. And that mysterious drop-off? That's Sipadan's underwater wall, a sheer vertical cliff that plunges 600 meters into the ocean's depths, just steps from shore. Take one fin kick too far, and suddenly you're floating above nothing but endless blue. It's not just a dive. It's a free fall into one of the richest marine ecosystems on Earth. They say this island was once cursed by a dying woman, and for 7 generations, nothing here would prosper. Sounds like a myth, but what if it wasn't? Welcome to Langkawi, Malaysia's most iconic island escape. A cluster of 99 islands scattered across emerald waters, where ancient landscapes and whispered legends live side by side. Langkawi is a UNESCO Global Geopark, and the ground beneath your feet? It's over 500 million years old. Towering limestone cliffs, tangled mangroves, and dramatic rock formations make this place feel timeless, because it truly is. One of the best ways to see its raw beauty is from above. Take the cable car up Gunung Mulu, then step onto the Langkawi Sky Bridge, a curved walkway suspended 660 meters above sea level, floating between peaks. You're literally walking through the clouds. Down below, drift through the Kilim Karst Geoforest Park by boat, gliding past mangroves, spotting eagles in flight, and exploring caves alive with bats. It's wild, mysterious, and unforgettable. But Langkawi has its fun side too. Head to Pantai Tsenang, the island's main beach. Golden sands, parasailing adventures, street food, and laid-back beach bars all rolled into one. And when the sun sets, shopping begins, because Langkawi is duty-free. Cheap chocolates, discounted alcohol, and all the souvenirs you can carry. Yet beneath all the beauty lies a legend that shaped the island's soul. It's the story of Masuri, a woman wrongfully accused of adultery. Before her death, she cursed Langkawi, saying it would endure 7 generations of misfortune. And for years, it did wars, invasions, poverty. Locals say the island only began to thrive after the curse lifted. Today, Langkawi is thriving again, but her story still lingers. And when you stand on a misty mountain or drift through a mangrove cave, you can feel it. A legend that never really died, only learned to live with the waves. They say a warrior once lived here, so skilled, so loyal, he became a legend. Some even believe he never died. His story is just one layer of Malacca's past. Centuries ago, Malacca was one of the richest trading ports in the world, a crossroads where ships from China, India, Arabia, and Europe all converged. It was the gateway between East and West, and everyone wanted a piece of it. Over time, the city fell under the Portuguese, then the Dutch, and finally the British. Each empire left behind traces of its rule in the architecture, the food, the faith, and the rhythm of life that still beats through the streets. At the heart of it all stands Dutch Square, its iconic red buildings, and Christ Church, one of the oldest European-built churches still standing in Southeast Asia. Just a short walk away lies a Formosa, the weathered stone gate of a Portuguese fortress built in the 1500s, one of the oldest surviving European structures in all of Asia. But Malacca isn't stuck in the past. When the weekend comes, Jonker Street bursts to life, a night market of sizzling street food, antiques, handmade crafts, and music echoing through Chinatown. And if you want a different perspective, take a river cruise through the city's heart, gliding past painted murals, colonial bridges, and glowing reflections that dance across the water at night. Then there's the Baba Nyoni culture, born from centuries of blending between Chinese settlers and Malay locals. You'll see it everywhere, in their colorful homes, intricate clothing, and in the rich, aromatic food that defines Malacca's unique soul. Step further into history at the Flor de la Mar Museum, a full-scale replica of a 16th century Portuguese ship that once sank off Malacca's coast, said to be carrying treasure that remains lost beneath the sea to this day. And as for that warrior, his name was Hang Tuah, a symbol of loyalty, courage, and honor in Malay legend. Some say he died in exile. Others whisper he vanished into the jungle, waiting for the day his homeland would call him back. And maybe, just maybe, he still listens. Deep in the jungles of Borneo, there's a chamber so massive it could fit a jumbo jet or 40. And that's just one of Sarawak's hidden wonders. Wild, mysterious, and endlessly humbling, this is a land where nature still rules. The crown jewel? Gunung Mulu National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site of towering limestone spires, jungle-covered peaks, and cave systems that stretch into another world. Here lies the Sarawak Chamber, the largest cave chamber on Earth. So vast, it could hold 40 Boeing 747 side by side. Step inside, and it feels like walking into a natural cathedral, silent, colossal, and ancient beyond imagination. Not far away is Deer Cave, home to one of the planet's most incredible natural shows. At sunset, millions of bats pour out in a swirling ribbon, twisting across the sky for nearly an hour. It's nature's version of fireworks, wild, chaotic, and unforgettable. But Sarawak isn't just about caves. It's a cultural epic, home to over 40 ethnic groups, including the Iban, Bidayuh, and Orang Ulu, each with their own language, dress, and deep-rooted traditions. Many still live in traditional longhouses, massive wooden homes built on stilts, sometimes sheltering up to 100 people under one roof. It's more than architecture. It's community, family, and heritage, all bound together. Then there's Kuching, the capital, whose name literally means cat in Malay. And yes, the city embraces it fully. Cat statues on corners, a full cat museum, feline-themed cafes. It's quirky, charming, and utterly unique. Sarawak is also a sanctuary for wildlife. At Semengo Nature Reserve, you can spot semi-wild orangutans swinging freely through the trees, part of a rehabilitation program that gives them the freedom of the forest while keeping them protected. And beyond it all lies Sarawak's ancient rainforest, one of the oldest on Earth, teeming with rare species, giant trees, and ecosystems that rival the Amazon in sheer richness. Here, the jungle breathes, and if you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of Borneo itself. Inside this park, there's a mountain that doesn't stop growing, rising ever so slightly year after year. But how can something so massive still be getting taller? Welcome to Kinabalu Park, Malaysia's first UNESCO World Heritage Site, and one of the most biodiverse places on the planet. At its heart towers Mount Kinabalu, the highest peak in Southeast Asia, nearly 4,100 meters above sea level. It's not just tall, it's sacred, powerful, and alive. Climbing it is surprisingly achievable. With a guide, a permit, and a bit of stamina, almost anyone can reach the summit, making it one of the world's most accessible high-altitude climbs. The journey takes you through 5 distinct climate zones, from steamy rainforest to cool alpine air. Near the top, the trail opens into a surreal landscape of silver granite domes that stretch endlessly into the clouds. And then comes the moment, sunrise at the summit. You're standing above the clouds while the world still sleeps below, watching golden light spill over Borneo. It's the kind of silence you'll never forget. For thrill seekers, there's the highest via ferrata on Earth, a guided route of ladders and cables clinging to sheer cliffs, offering views and adrenaline in equal measure. The park itself is bursting with life. Over 5,000 species of plants, from delicate orchids to carnivorous pitcher plants that trap unsuspecting insects. It's also home to rare wildlife like pygmy squirrels, vivid birds, and even the elusive leopard cat. And if you're not climbing, the botanical garden near the entrance offers a glimpse of Borneo's one-of-a-kind flora without breaking a sweat. So, how does Mount Kinabalu keep growing? It's thanks to tectonic uplift. The same powerful forces that built it still push it upward, about 5 millimeters every year. It's not just Malaysia's highest mountain. It's a mountain that's still becoming. They say a mysterious spear once floated down a river here. No one knows how it appeared or where it came from. But that legend gave this quiet town its name and its soul. Welcome to Sungai Lembing, a misty gem where history runs as deep underground as it does in memory. Back in the British colonial era, this small town was booming, home to one of the deepest and longest underground tin mines in the world. Imagine a hidden network of tunnels stretching over 300 meters below the surface, winding for miles through the earth. The riches buried here were so immense that the British dubbed it the El Dorado of the East. This was no ordinary town. It had electricity, schools, and hospitals long before many of Malaysia's major cities. Today, the mines have fallen silent, but their legacy still echoes through the valleys. At the Sungai Lembing Museum, you can step into restored tunnels and feel what life was like beneath the ground. Damp air, narrow shafts, and the quiet hum of history. Above ground, time seems to move slower. Wooden shop houses line the peaceful streets, and the morning fog drifts through the hills, giving the whole valley a dreamy, highland charm. If you rise early, take the short climb up Panorama Hill. It's steep, but the view is unforgettable. A sea of mist covers the jungle below as sunlight spills over the horizon, nature's reward for the early risers. And then there's the Rainbow Waterfall, a place that feels straight out of a storybook. When the morning sun hits the mist just right, a perfect rainbow arcs over the rocks, fleeting, magical, and worth every step of the journey. As for that mysterious spear, locals say it once appeared floating in the river, as if the heavens themselves had dropped it from the sky. No one ever found an answer, but the name Sungai Lembing, meaning Spear River, has endured. A reminder that even the quietest places can be born from legends. What if I tell you there's a rainforest in Malaysia that's older than the Amazon, and you can still hike through it, sleep beside it, and hear it breathe? Can you imagine standing inside something that ancient? Welcome to Pahang, the largest state in peninsular Malaysia, a place where misty highlands, royal palaces, coral islands, and primeval rainforests all meet. At the center of it all lies Taman Negara, a rainforest estimated to be over 130 million years old. That's right, older than the Amazon, older than most mountains, and still teeming with life. Ever walked through a living fossil? You can hear, or even above it, on the world's longest canopy walkway, suspended high over the jungle floor while tapirs, hornbills, and wild elephants move silently below. But the magic doesn't stop in the jungle. Head to the hills, and you'll find Cameron Highlands and Fraser's Hill. Old colonial hill stations where the air is cool, the tea is fresh, and the trails wind through mossy forests and peaceful farms. Craving the sea? Just off Pahang's coast lies Taman Island, once crowned by Time magazine as one of the most beautiful islands in the world. Crystal clear waters, coral reefs, and hidden waterfalls, a paradise untouched by time. Pahang's royal legacy runs deep, too. The Sultan of Pahang is one of Malaysia's most respected monarchs, with centuries of tradition woven into the state's culture and identity. Between the rainforest and the royal halls, you'll find traditional Malay villages, where time moves slow, meals are cooked over wood fire, and children still play by the river. So about that rainforest, yes, it really is more than 130 million years old. Step into Taman Negara, and you're not just hiking. You're moving through a world that existed before cities, before empires, before us. It's not just old, it's eternal, and it's still alive. That's what makes Pahang different. It doesn't just show you Malaysia, it shows you where it all began. Malaysia is wild, soulful, and filled with places that feel like they belong to another world. From misty mountains to glowing beaches, every corner has a story waiting to be discovered. If this journey stirred your curiosity, don't stop here. Hit subscribe and join Voyago, because there's a whole planet of wonders still waiting for you.